Hi everyone, welcome to Finding Serenity in Stitches. My name is Christina and I'm happy to be here with you today. This is episode number 2 and I'd like to share with you some things that I'm working on. I don't have any finished objects at the moment, but I'm getting close on a couple things. The first thing, last week I showed you the socks that I was knitting for a Christmas present. I'm knitting up a bunch of socks. I'm not even thinking about who they're for really at this point. I just want to get a lot of knitted socks done and it's a good time to do it being that we're in August. This is helical knitting, the stripes without any jogs, and I really like it. It's a very enjoyable knit. The pattern is a worsted weight toe up socks pattern that I found, and it also in the same pattern has the cuff down version. I'm about to bind off on the first sock, and I was watching some videos on YouTube thinking about trying the tubular bind off because I like how clean the edge is. It's almost like it continues on right into the sock. It does look like there's quite a few steps, but we'll see. I recently, which I mentioned last episode, watched Jana at Purl Together, and she did some great videos on how to knit toe-up socks. And one of the things I really liked was that she started her heel flap so that it actually fell onto the heel, right under the heel of the foot, not the back of the heel. And then on the heel turn, you can continue that pattern going up as much as you'd like. But I do like the fact that they're squishy right under the heel. I'm not sure why all socks aren't knit like that. Maybe if you're aware, leave a message, leave a message, I'll call you back. No, leave a comment, and because I'd love to get educated maybe on the knitted socks and why they are the way that they are. Because even before her video, I always wondered, why do we want to put all this cushiness at the back of the heel? It seems to make more sense that we would put it right where the heel, falls. Anyway, these are the socks. I am knitting them on a, oh my, let's see. I should know, but I don't. I'm knitting them on a US 7. And I did share that I'm using the Premier Deborah Norville Everyday Worsted. And I forgot to mention, the cream colored yarn that I'm using in the stripes is Cloudborne Superwash Merino Worsted. And that's a great yarn. I don't know if you've seen it. It actually was sold when Craftsy when Craftsy was in business and selling yarn. They had a Cloudborne line, and they would have some great sales. I remember stocking up on some of their cotton yarn, and that line is what introduced me to merino yarn and affordable merino yarn. Then Craftsy became Blueprint, and I was able to purchase the yarn through Blueprint. And now I've noticed that the Cloudborne yarn is being sold on Webs. And I'm not sure if it's on Love Crafts or not. I can't remember if I've seen it there. Maybe Webs purchased Blueprint, who purchased Craftsy. I don't know the history of that. But anyway, that's what I'm using here. The cream colored yarn is a worsted superwash merino. To make a nice squishy sock. Let's see. Oh, I did talk about, and I'll put a picture in to remind you about the Keane Wonder Racerback tank that I knit. It was a yellow bamboo yarn that I used. Bamboo pop. I always look behind me and I can see the other skein, the different colors. And then it reminds me, bamboo pop in lemongrass. And I talked about how the front looked like it was a couple inches wider than the back piece. And you knit the front from the bottom up, and then you knit the back piece from the bottom up. You block it and then seam it together. I took a closer look, and I know I used the same needle, US 3, to knit both sides, and it is a knitted pattern. Today I counted the stitches on one side right before it changes from the front to the back. The pattern changes where you're from about here on up, and then same thing from the back about here on up. I counted from about right here, the widest part, before I started decreasing for the shaping the front. And it had 113 stitches, the same number of stitches that the back piece had. So I think what might have happened is that it got stretched out when I was knitting it, because I actually had to tear back and re-knit the first portion probably 3 times with the wraps and turns. And I'm really comfortable now, but it was a little learning curve there then. And so it might have gotten stretched out because it was like the first piece that I was knitting, there were some things that I wasn't that comfortable with, like the wraps and turns. And so made mistakes and, tore it out, re-knit. And so I'm thinking maybe because of that, maybe it got stretched out. We'll see. But tomorrow I'm going to block it. And then I'm going to take a look and see if it blocks and has the correct gauge. I'll seam them together, and hopefully I'll be wearing my Keane Wonder tank top next time I podcast. What's next? So before we hit fall, I really wanted to knit a t-shirt, something else, that I can knit, maybe a quick knit before we jump into fall, when I plan to knit a sweater and a blanket and more socks. And I decided to knit the Ranunculus, and I'll put a picture of the Ranunculus. It's a very popular pattern. I mean, it's had thousands of projects listed in Ravelry. I feel like I should be showing you a picture or something, but instead I'll show you. I plan to do the Ranunculus short sleeve, and I'm using Truboo, Lion Brand's Truboo, and this is the color Moss, I believe. Let's see here. It's a DK weight. Oh, olive. Hello. The name is Olive. So it's an olive colored yarn, and it is a 3 weight, and it is made out of 51% cotton and 49% rayon from bamboo. So I really like this yarn. It is a little splitty, but if you get used to it, and it hasn't given me too many hassles. One of the things that I'm doing differently in the Ranunculus, because I like to have a lot of space, a lot of breathing room for my neck. I don't like shirts to be, the crew necks to go up to the top of my collarbone or the bottom of my neck. So I decided to cast on the largest number of stitches that still fit the pattern, and the increases and decreases that it, and the different stitch patterns basically that it uses. And so the instructions said to cast on 60 stitches for the wider neckline, and I tried that and it still wasn't wide enough for me. So I jumped forward to section 3, and I am casting on I casted on 120 stitches, and then I'm going to take the pattern and go forward from there. So it's an experiment. I'm always changing patterns. I pick a pattern. It's rare that I just follow it to a T, completely. I just like to experiment, try different things. I have a vision in my mind, of what I'd like it to turn out to be. So here's what I have so far. Just started yesterday or day before. And I have the 1x1 rib going, and I'm almost done with that, and then I can get into the fun stuff. There are some, it is a fun knit. I understand why people like it, why it's so popular, because when I've started knitting it the first time, I got into some of the different patterns that, stitches that the pattern called for, and it is fun and it is quick. And so one of the things, it calls for a US 10 with fingering weight. I'm using the Truboo, the DK yarn, so I'm going to use I am using a 10.5 or a 10. I'm using a 10 for the ribbing, and then I'm going to use an 11 for the body, so it has that same loose stitching that it's supposed to have. What else do we have here? I won some yarn. I haven't won anything in a long time. And Gina from Knitting Turnpike, I mentioned her last week, did a drawing, and I put my name in, and she did the YouTube random picker, and I won. I'm so excited, and I won a yarn that I've really been wanting to try, Truboo. And look at this beautiful lilac color. Get a good look at that. She sent me 3 skeins is what I won, and she had a couple skeins where she used parts of it, and she threw that in too, which I'm so grateful for. That was so nice of her. So Truboo, maybe I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it, by Lion Brand. It's 100% rayon from bamboo, 3.5 ounces, so 241 yards a piece, and the color is Thistle Chardon. Maybe Chardon is the French for thistle, I don't know. But I'm so excited to have won some Truboo. I wanted to knit a tank top with Truboo this summer, and by the time I got to Joann's, there was one of this color, a couple of this color, but there wasn't enough for me to knit an actual garment. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll try next summer. They maybe have different colors out, you know, we'll see. So thank you, Gina. I'm so grateful, and I'm going to put this to good use. And thank you, Gina, for the nice card that you sent as well. Let's see. Oh, you know, there are a bunch of knit-alongs and crochet-alongs going on. I'm on Ravelry or I'm on Instagram. I see all kinds. And I just thought I'd mention some. I don't know if you've watched Carla Knits on YouTube, but she's a lovely lady too. And she is doing a Merry Make-Along. I don't know if I have the dates here. No, I don't have the dates with me. I have them on my phone, but I'm using my phone to record, of course. So anyway, Carla's Knits. I think you'll find a lot of value in watching her YouTube podcast. She's doing a Merry Make-Along, and she's also doing a yarn swap. So I sent her a message in Ravelry asking if I could participate. She's capping it to 50, and it's 12 days of Christmas. So I don't know if any of you have looked at those advent calendars that are sold for Christmas time, or the 12 days of Christmas, but they are awful spendy. I just really couldn't justify spending that much money on myself before Christmas. So I'm really glad that she's offering a different option for folks. So anyway, that's one of the Merry Make-Along. It's for any gifts that you're knitting, and I think it's knitting, and any holiday themed items, like say you're gonna make a stocking. I think that counts as well. Grocery Girls, I'm sure you've heard of them. If not, you gotta watch them. They're on YouTube as well. They're doing a knit along or crochet. It can be knit or crochet, but for any tees and tanks, that any summer tees or summer tanks that you make, and whips, works in progress, are just fine. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There were some other ones. There's a lot going on. If you would like me to provide a list maybe at the next episode, leave me a note in the comments and I'd be happy to. let's see. You know, I think that's it for today. I don't have any, actually I do have something I'm going to share, but I did some yarn shopping and I thought I would put it in a separate episode so people that are interested in watching a yarn haul video will, you know, see that it's a yarn haul video. But I'll tell you, it's from Hobium. I've never purchased from Hobium before. I was watching Bag a Day a couple weeks ago and she mentioned that they were having a 40% off, and so I went online, and of course to get the free shipping I spent $150 and over $150, and so I'm so excited. I've got a big box, I'll show you, and that'll be coming in my next, oh boy, that'll be coming in my next video. Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of the week, and thank you for watching. I appreciate if you would like this video and come back. I do plan to do all kinds of fun stuff with this channel. I just pardon my learning curve. I'm learning how to create and edit videos and upload them on YouTube. I'm learning what a thumbnail is. Anyway, big learning curve, but hang in there with me. We'll have lots of fun, and it's going to be great. Have a great day. Bye-bye.